Elected officials need to do more. Joblessness crisis for black men costs economy about $50 billion per year, according to a new report. The number of unemployed black men in the U.S. has grown so much that it is costing the black community $50 billion in income every year, a study published last week revealed. The study found that there's an employment gap of about 1.4 million jobs between black men and their Asian, Hispanic, and white counterparts. Black men are absent from hundreds of thousands of jobs in part because they have a higher rate of being in prison, and all of them made innocent. So we can kill that noise right then and there. All of them is not innocent, and all of them was not locked up because they were falsely accused. Being killed, most are being killed by other black men, or simply being looked over for positions, said Algernon Austin, who authored the study published by the Center for Economic and Policy Research, or in short, CEPR. Black people need to take this report and take it to their elected official and say, you need to do more because you don't fully understand or realize how big this problem is, Austin told Finura. I'm hoping that this work serves to inspire people, and frankly, particularly black men. Using unemployment data from 2014, Austin's study tallied black men between the ages of 25 and 54 and examined how many of them were employed, and then compared that to the total black male population. He concluded that black men would have to nab about 947,000 jobs that year to equal the rate of other men who are working relative to their population. Adding those jobs would have generated billions in dollars in wages funneled into the black communities, this study found. And this Algernon Austin himself is a black man who did this study. This way I'm only mentioning that because, they want to say they don't like, some black men don't like when you bring up studies or statistics, because they claim that these studies and statistics are done by people of no color who they don't count because they don't know the community. And I don't know why they think that way, but they do. Anyways, let me go back to reading. Although the findings come from 2014's data, Austin said the takeaways can be applied to 2021 and beyond. Black neighborhoods with a large infusion of income from men working will see lower crime rates. That's why I'm covering this article, because the crime in predominantly black communities affects black women, hence blackwomenaware. But so anyways, black neighborhoods with a large infusion of income from men working will see lower crime rates, longer surviving small businesses, and higher educational attainment amongst children, Austin said. Also, let me add into there, I believe that it will see men living longer lives, longer, healthier lives, because with better jobs and them actually working and doing something about their health or whatever, they have access to health care. They'll be taking care of their health. That's just my theory though. If we can get that $50 billion in, not only are people's lives made better today, but the next generation is going to be better off. And we start the next paragraph where they are talking about pandemic problems. Austin's research lands at a time when black Americans are still crawling out of the economic rubble from the coronavirus pandemic. They said black Americans are crawling out. Other communities probably walking out, strolling out. We're crawling out. Okay? At the height of the pandemic, many black Americans were forced to shutter their small businesses and take layoffs from their employers. That meant several black families went weeks without incomes to keep bills paid. Black Americans had the highest unemployment rate throughout the pandemic, government data showed. The global health crisis financially hurt black employees and black employers alike. Although black entrepreneurship exploded in major hubs like Atlanta, Houston, Miami, New York, many black business owners were shut out from receiving federal pandemic aid designed to keep their firms afloat. The black unemployment rate as of November has fallen back to its pre-pandemic levels between 6 and 7%, according to the U.S. Labor Department data. But black men still hold the highest unemployment rate out of any other demographic. Black men have unique challenges when trying to land a job, and they must play an outsized role in helping improve their unemployment rate. Now, Austin right there, that's where I have to kind of put my 2 cents in, because I'm so sick of them giving black men excuses. Because black women, we don't only face racism in the workplace, but we face sexism. All right? I don't know how many times, even as a nurse, going into certain jobs, having better experience, having more knowledge, having come from an accredited college, because some of these students, they get out of these fast track colleges, and these colleges are not accredited. So the doctors and the companies, they don't trust these schools, right? So I remember being interviewed by certain hospitals and all, and getting turned down because I was black, and things like that. So my point being, before I go off on a rampant, my point being, if I face double the oppression as you as a black woman, I can't go in here and wear my hair a certain way, I can't act a certain way, there's more stereotypes nabbed with black women, with how we even act. We can't get sad or mad at the workplace, because they'll tell you in a minute, oh, you got an attitude. Y'all know how many dumb people I have educated on what an attitude is? You have a motherfucking attitude with how you sit. An attitude is a behavior. A behavior can be good or fucking bad. You know what I'm saying? A behavior can be good or bad. I'm so sick of them giving men like this excuses. They don't need excuses. They need to get off of their ass and find solutions to their own problems. Because if they do that, I don't have to continue on with Black Women Aware. At least not in a negative light. The murders and the missing cases that I share on this page would be damn near far few in between. You know what I'm saying? I could go on to what I really want to do with Black Women Aware, which is highlighting where black women shine. But your safety and your well-being comes first to me. Your safety and well-being, black women, is why I stayed in the medical field an extra 3 years, even though I was burnt out. Because if you're not taking care of your health, and if your safety and your life is in jeopardy, that's the main thing. And once we take care of making you aware and getting you safe, then we can focus on the fun stuff. Y'all understand? Let me continue on. The problem won't be solved by black men alone, but it won't be solved if black men aren't more engaged in advocating for black men. Okay? Then again, I disagree. If black men got off their asses and stopped allowing everybody to carry their nuts for them, basically what I mean by that, allowing everybody to solve their problems for them, or they always, in my opinion, always when I see black men and this problems like this, it's always give us this, give us more jobs. You get out there and you go fucking get them. You know what I'm saying? Get out there and go get them. Get out there and hell, why ain't it a black man aware? Why can't y'all make a black man aware, and instead of focus on women and children, you focus on the motherfucker looking next to you? Because this motherfucker looking next to you, he probably, will kill you. Because y'all know black men are toxic to other black men. Black men are the reason why Steve Harvey, in one of his comedy stand-ups, he said he left. Once he hit his first million, he didn't want to invest in his own community. He didn't want to stay in his own community. He said in his comedy special, y'all know y'all steal, and I ain't staying here, so I can leave and come back and all my shit is stolen. He was referring to other black men. That's who he was referring to. Okay, so we have to get out of this attitude of I can't get a leg up because won't nobody give me. Ain't nobody gonna give you shit. Don't nobody feel like they are responsible for anybody else. You need to get out there and show your own initiative and do what you can for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And not even God will do that. You can have faith all you want to. If you ain't got no good works, that Bible even say, if you don't have no good works, your faith is dead. You ain't got no damn faith. God will help you with only so much, but he will never, never, never do your part for you. He will never do it for you. Because he know what he put in you, and he know that after a while, you have to put some initiative behind it. You have to be willing to do your part. And that's what I'm saying. Let me continue on. Perhaps one way to fix the issue for federal lawmakers to launch a new program, a new subsidized jobs program, Austin suggested. But they got programs already. It's been all kind of programs built up to help black men. They don't utilize them. Okay? And instead of just going to these people for help and going to get the help that they need or going to get the resources they need, they too busy listening to the next dumbass off the street who telling them, oh, well, they won't help you. They only help black women and children. You know what I'm saying? Let me just continue on. A new program could somewhat be similar, but would need to be targeted in a way that reaches a large swath of black men. He talk about them like they bugs or something. Austin surmised. The program would also need to focus on cities like Detroit and Washington. Okay, y'all see I paused when I read Detroit. I don't know too much about Washington, D.C. Detroit, last I heard about Detroit, I heard they're trying to rebuild Detroit. But with it living in this new age of AI, the robotics age, where you got all these new robots and they're taking over jobs and things like that. The documentaries and things that I've watched, the things that I've read, I heard that like robotics will make it to where you're either going to be in first class or you're going to be in third class. So you're going to either be in, like, you're going to either make a lot of money and be with that 1% and be rich, or you're going to be poor. There will be no more middle class because robotics. And one thing that I noticed, I watched a documentary the other day, and it was talking about Saginaw, Michigan. Saginaw, Michigan is maybe an hour or 2 hours outside of Detroit. Saginaw, Michigan is damn near a ghost town. It ain't shit in Saginaw, Michigan. No jobs, it's not thriving, not anything like that. Okay? There's nothing there. So he's talking about this program should focus on cities like Detroit. Okay, so we put a program in Detroit to help black men get jobs. First, it's got to be jobs there, right? And if the jobs come there, it's got to be people willing to work those jobs. It's damn near not shit in Detroit. No disrespect to my people from Detroit, but I'm just speaking facts. You know what I mean? So, you only could give so much. That's my point. I don't think it starts with making a program. It's been enough motherfucking programs. I feel like they need to start with, like, okay, this guy, Dr. Austin, he's a black man himself. Why don't you get on some platforms? Because this is my first time ever hearing of Dr. Austin. Okay? So why don't you get on where these men are? They're on the social media profile. They're on all different social media platforms. They on these dating sites. Okay? Go where they are and reach them and change their mindset. That's all I'm saying, because if you got these men and they got these manosphere channels and they have all these red pill channels and they spewing out all this toxic hate against women, I'm pretty sure if you make a channel and you reach them where they're at and change their mentality, you can get them to want to go out and work. If you can get them to hate women, you can get them to go out and work. Shit, that's where I feel like the change needs to happen first, in the mentality of the people. You know what I'm saying? You can make as many motherfucking programs as you want to. But if a motherfucker don't want to do shit, they're not going to do it. They are not going to do it. Hell, you can't eat until you put the fork to your mouth. Can't even feed yourself until you get off your ass, go in your kitchen, and put a fork to your mouth. Fix your food, put the fork to your mouth. But to even do that, you have to have the mentality. Everything starts in your mind. Y'all see what I'm trying to say? So I'm thinking to myself, they trying to fix the exterior when they need to be working on the interior. You know what I'm saying? All these jobs, y'all, I'm nearsighted, so it's certain jobs that I just can't get. Don't y'all know 2 years ago, I said fuck everything. I was gonna go get my CDL. You know, and I didn't realize it's already been other black women breaking into that industry. You know what I'm saying? Because I had got burned out. I'm sorry. I got burned out on the medical field. So with the rise of the pandemic and everything, because I was traveling with 3 different cardiologists, going to rural areas mostly to see heart patients, right? And with the pandemic, I went from being the most valuable player. I went from being the MVP in my office because I was a float nurse and nobody else could do my job. If I called off, they was going to be ass out, because even though this nurse might know how the flow of the office works in the home office, she didn't know how it worked in the other offices that I was floated out to. So even when I called off, y'all, it was a big deal, which I never really called off like that. But I bring that up because I went from being the MVP to when pandemic really happened and the doctors that I was flown with decided, hey, we don't want to float right now because basically we don't want anybody catching this virus, obviously, and we don't want heart patients coming out, which, you know, their immune system already shot because of something wrong with their heart, right? So we don't want them coming out unless it's an emergency. And obviously if it's an emergency or whatever, where you gonna go? ER, right? So my job was completely, they deleted the position. They didn't just fire me, they deleted the position. They got rid of the position. They didn't know at the time what the hell COVID was gonna do. So the minute that the quarantine started, I believe in mid-March of 2020, my job was gone, right? And so I took that as a sign from God that, you know, me and my advocacy for black women as far as in the health field, that was done. I had done all that I could do and I needed to move on. So I saved up some money and started to pay my way through different trade schools. Like, and one of the trade schools I was looking at was truck driving. I like traveling. I like driving anyways. I like listening to audiobooks. I like being alone. Perfect for me. Perfect. You know, got my CCW. So if any fool want to come with some bullshit, you basically ready to meet your maker. You know, so I ain't scared of shit. You know, so God did all that shit, y'all. And right before I joined the program, obviously they have you take a vision test and went to take the vision test. And my doctor was like, yeah, Candace, look somewhere else. This isn't for you. This is not for you, right? So I'm saying all that to say this: you have to take the initiative. It's places out here, it's programs out here, it's things out here. But if a person is not willing to take the initiative, nothing has changed. Some people are comfortable in their ignorance. And I'm not even saying that to be insulting. I'm saying that because that's real shit. That is real shit. I know people right now who have the potential to get off government assistance. And no, I'm not talking about just black women or nothing like that, because I know more women of other nationalities, of other racial backgrounds and ethnicities who are on that shit than just black women, right? But I know women who are on this shit, and when they reach a certain like when they start making a certain amount of money, they slow down what they working because they don't want to lose that benefit. You see what I'm saying? Some people are comfortable in that state. They're comfortable like that. They don't want to take a risk. And whenever you take any kind of risk, you have to trust God and just jump. You know what I'm saying? I don't do nothing without trusting God. You know, your faith should not be in any program, no matter if it's a job, no matter if it's government assistance, whatever. Your faith should always be in God. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the one who really provides for us and makes a way for us. That's my belief. You don't believe how I believe, that's cool. But I have too much evidence in my life, and I ain't finna get on the spiritual stuff right now. I'm just saying, some people are comfortable being ignorant, because the minute you take a risk and you step outside of your comfort zone, you're stepping into the darkness. And what do I mean by that? You're stepping into some shit that you don't know. Best example I can give y'all, when I decided to leave my home state and move to a new state. And my home state, my city, the city that I'm from is real small. And the place I decided to go to was Dallas. I didn't research Dallas. I didn't do a damn thing. I just packed my shit, saved up like $20K, and was like, fuck it, I'm out of here. I'm just going to jump for it. I'm just going to go. And the last week that I was in my home city and state, I got cold feet. I got scared. It's natural to be scared. I got scared, you know, and I heard God say, Candace, you're not canceling your hotels. You're not canceling, because I invested rather into trades down in Dallas. I had classes coming up in Dallas that I had invested into. So really I had to leave, or else I would forfeit all of those thousands of dollars in money that I had invested in these certain classes, right? So anyways, I remember being highly uncomfortable. Y'all, I was in some of the best hotels. I was in some of the best Airbnbs. Sometimes when I was in Dallas, I was having the time of my life. So I was having so much fun, but there was this sense of it was a sense of dread and uncomfortable because of the unknown. I didn't know. Every day that I went down there, I didn't know if I would really make it down there, if I would really survive down there. I did not know. You know what I'm saying? The weather was new to me, because where I'm at, where my home state rather, where I was at, you got 4 seasons. Dallas, when I went down there, it was muggy. It was real humid. It's real humid in Dallas. I wasn't used to that. Real humid, hot. Wasn't used to that. The different people and even the accents down there, I was not used to that. So I'm not going to say when you change and when you jump out and you decide to leave your comfort zone, it's not going to come with fear. You're going to be scared the whole freaking way through. But the point of it is, you have to learn to do shit afraid. Because if you don't do shit afraid, you're going to stay where the fuck you at. And I'm not trying to give y'all no speech or nothing like that. All I'm trying to reveal to y'all or highlight to y'all in my own way is that some of these men are comfortable in their ignorance. They don't want to be challenged. They do not want to be challenged. They don't want to change. They don't want to come into the knowledge, because when you come into the knowledge, you have to come into accountability. You have to come into responsibility. And some of them just don't want that. Okay? Some of them want to continue to believe that it's a white man somewhere with a hat on like Uncle Sam's, and every time this motherfucker go out and get a job, try to do something positive, that white man is in the front of the door pushing their asses back, pushing them down, stumping them in the ground and telling them no. Some of them are comfortable believing that. Why? Because then they say that it gives them an excuse. Oh, this is why I won't go out here and get no job. This is why I won't stop selling drugs. This is why I won't stop hanging with the people that I hang with. Even coming into some of the knowledge that of all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by all this stuff, the stuff about the black community and why black economy is at 17K, whereas white economy is at $250,000. Even coming to the realization, because when they come into the realization, that demographic, black and male, when they come into that realization, they have to come into the truth about what's really going on. Because what's really going on in the black community, they like to pin it on just black women. But and going back into the medical field, anybody work in the medical field, you are my witness. You know I'm not lying. Been in the field 16 years. You know, there's a term called respondeat superior. That is a legal term. It has a Latin background. Okay, basically what it means is let the master answer. So basically, as a nurse, if I'm working under a doctor's name, you know what I'm saying? If I'm working under a doctor and I give a patient, I go into a patient's room and I have the wrong medication and I give this patient the wrong medication. Yeah, I could probably be punished for it, but the state is still going to come down on that doctor. They're not going to ask that they're not going to ask that business or that doctor who runs that business about your nurse Candace Yvette. They're going to say, "Where's Dr. John Doe? Where's Dr. Jane Doe?" It's called respondeat superior. Okay, so I apply that knowledge. If they even got that in the medical field, you know what I'm saying? This was a Latin term. This didn't start with the medical field. This started with the Latin people. So it goes into other groups of men. Even other groups of men believe that other women and children are not responsible for how a community runs. They put that on the man's head, and they even brought those belief systems over into their businesses. Right? Respondeat superior. Let the master answer. Let the master answer. That's what that means. So if I do something wrong on my job, it does not mean I won't get checked. It means that any outside entities, they gonna check that doctor or whoever I'm working at first. They gonna check him first. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep putting the blame off on black women and children when the stats do not support what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep doing it. This article right here, this is a black man who did this study, but the article was written by somebody else, but it was a black man who did this study. Joblessness crisis for black men costs economy about $50 billion per year. So black men are a liability to America. That's what that's saying to me. You know what I'm saying? And I had to cover it because of that part where it says if the black men go out here to get jobs and do something constructive with themselves, they will not only add money to the community, but the part where it said about making the community safer and the crime rate going down. What do I cover on this page? Crime. How can black men get black women aware to shut the fuck up? Stop and lower the crime rate. Then y'all could come on here and really trump. Oh, that used to be who we was, but that ain't who we is no more. Because we going out here and like this article says they would have to nab. I'm going to read the sentence to y'all word for word. He concluded, he being Austin who did the study, concluded black men would have to nab about 947,000 jobs that year to equal the rate of other men. And that ain't even just to get above, that's to equal. That show you how far behind we are. Well, not we, but black men, because this article ain't got shit to do with black women. They talking about black men. Just something for y'all to think about. Y'all be safe, be alert, be aware.